Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel where we talk about interior design tips and inspiration. We are back again with another design style series video and we're going to be talking all about shabby chic interiors. If you are new to this series, we go over the background of each interior design style, key elements, some ways how you can incorporate this design style into your home, and some similar styles in case you're interested but aren't completely in love with this style. That being said, let's go ahead and jump on to the background of shabby chic interiors. This interior design style originated in the 18th century in Britain. This design style blossomed from the middle class wanting to have a more grand and exciting interior style that emulated some of the more grand homes in similar areas, but this was more geared toward the middle class instead of upper class. Oftentimes, homes, furniture, and other things would be passed down from generation to generation, and they'd be really, really nice, very expensive, luxurious, and this was a really desired thing to have something passed down to you that was of value. And so that is where a lot of inspiration for this design style comes from. When items would be passed down from generation to generation, it would be very, very special, but then each person who got that piece would put their own twist on that piece or the style of their home and incorporate it in their own unique way. Most of the time when we talk about shabby chic interiors, there's a softness and feminine elements that come to play to create this design style. You'll see lots of layers, you'll see some rustic elements, you'll even see a lot of vintage pieces to emulate that passed down feeling. All right, and now to move on to some key elements of this interior design style. As far as architectural details go, there isn't that much to really say for architectural details. There's not necessarily a signature architectural detail that will show you that this house is made for a shabby chic interior. The style really more focuses on the decoration, the styling, the furnishings of homes. So there's really not a lot of architectural details to focus on here. One thing I do want to mention though is lighting. Lighting is a really big thing for shabby chic interiors. It's kind of a more focal, a more glamorous part of the design, which we'll talk a little bit later. Like I mentioned, furniture for shabby chic interiors is really, really focal in this design style. You'll see a lot of distressed wood in this style. You'll see a lot of vintage pieces or hand-me-down pieces that have been passed down from generation to generation to really emulate where this style originated from. You may see some carved wood here, but really making sure that there's a feminine touch to the wood pieces is a really big deal. So some of the carvings you may see in these furniture pieces will have a lot of curves or a floral element come into it. A lot of these pieces have imperfections because they've been passed down, because they're older, and they don't have that brand new out of the box feeling to them. They have some personality, they have some charm to them, and that is such a big focal point of this design style. As far as color palettes go for shabby chic interiors, there really is mostly just a sea of neutrals here. The neutrals can go warm tone or cool tone depending on where you want to go. You see really both being introduced into these designs, but you'll definitely see plenty of white or whitewashed things, whitewashed furniture or floor, a lot of ivory, cream, chalky tones. You'll see quite a bit of this in this design style. As for window treatments, one thing that I think is really fun about this interior design style is that you can introduce some pattern and some florals into your window coverings. I wouldn't go overboard and do this in every single room, but florals are a really big part of this interior design style, and incorporating that into your window coverings will definitely give it a little bit more personality and give it that flavor of shabby chic interiors. As far as accessories go, we have this interior that's a little bit more rustic, a more traditional, older feel, but accessories, you can kind of glam it up and make this feel a little bit more luxurious, have a nice contrast here. Like crystal chandeliers are a fun way to kind of dress up this style. It can be easy to get to a place with this design style where you're kind of almost to a cluttered feel, but I would definitely gear your design around being more ornate rather than cluttered. You don't want too many things, but you do want items that have a little bit more detail in them. You may see some lace being introduced into this design style sparingly, but again, to give it that soft feminine touch. I definitely would not suggest using brand new picture frames in this design style. Have something that has a little patina, is a little bit older, has some detail and some dimension, and those picture frames look really, really awesome in this design style. And moving on to 3 different ways how you can bring this design style into your home right now. My very first suggestion is to start with a solid base. And what I mean by this is create a very neutral environment. Because you have a little bit more ornate detailing on furniture and accessories, and a lot of the talking is done through furniture and accessories, you're gonna wanna make sure that the rest of your design and the interior is very quiet, very soft-spoken. And so really make sure that you have a neutral base to put all of these funky, fun pieces on top of. My second suggestion is to start shopping second hand. Look for those furniture pieces and accessory pieces that have a lot of personality, that are vintage or older in any sort of aspect. Make sure that they have some feminine qualities, so some curves, some curving. You're not going to come across these items very quickly, more than likely. Getting into the habit of going shopping vintage or secondhand is going to be really nice, because when you do see those items, they'll probably pop out to you pretty quickly, and you'll know you'll want to jump on it as soon as you find them. And my third suggestion is to introduce florals into your design. We kind of talked about window treatments a little bit earlier, but this could be easily in your furniture, in some accessories, or it could just be getting some literal flowers and putting them in a beautiful vase and displaying them. This really enhances the more soft feminine qualities of this design style and is a signature to any sort of shabby chic interior. And moving on to similar design styles. The first that I want to mention is glam interiors. We will be discussing this more in next week's video, so if this sounds of interest to you, make sure that you are subscribed so you can get the scoop on glam interiors. But if you enjoyed when I was discussing about lighting kind of being a very big focal point, being a little bit more rich and luxurious and elegant, then glam could definitely be the style you are interested in. Another design style is French country. We will be talking about this in upcoming weeks as well. But if you like that more traditional feel with some weathered elements, kind of some older character, then French country could definitely be a good option for you. And my last recommendation is transitional design. We did do a video on this quite a few weeks ago, but it is kind of bringing in some modern elements in with some vintage and older traditional elements. You have a lot of character that's being brought in by these older elements, but it's a little bit more crisp, a little bit more clean and modern. So if you're not a huge fan of distressed furniture or maybe some different elements of this design style, then transitional is one of my personal favorite interior design styles and could be a really good option for you as well. All right, that is everything that I have for today's video. I hope that you learned something new, hopefully, and enjoyed. Again, stay tuned for next week's video all about glam interiors if you are interested in that style. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.